Well, I'm not going to have a child with severe OCPD. Because I could potentially, well, in a sense where I believe that mental illness can kind of be spread and caught, especially with raising children. Well, I kind of partially do believe that, like, obviously there is truth in the genetics. I'm not saying it's entirely false, but I think it's also a combination where I believe mental illness can actually be spread and, well, every action, every behavior you display around your child perceives that behavior. And then when you perceive information, it affects your brain and it changes the neurology of your brain. So let me check that. Let me Google search that in real time. When you take in new information to your brain through your senses, does it change the neurology of your brain? Yes, taking in new information through your senses constantly changes your brain's neurology through the process called neuroplasticity, which involves forming new neural connections, synapses, or strengthening, weakening existing ones, essentially remapping and adapting the brain's structure and function in response to experience. So, and by the way, let me clarify with a disclaimer I should have said beforehand. Everything that I'm saying is theory from an amateur theorist. Don't take anything that I can say as fact. Consider it just theoretical theory. And based on what I just read, what I'm saying is true. How you behave around people, people perceive that behavior. And when you're a child, and when it comes, well, I would probably assume, okay, do children have higher neuroplasticity? Yes, children have significantly higher neuroplasticity than adults, especially in early childhood, allowing their brains to form new connections rapidly and learn skills like language much more easily through plasticity. Through plasticity continues throughout life but becomes more refined and context dependent with age. This heightened malleability, characterized by an overproduction of synapses and a unique vulnerability to experience, is crucial for development, but also means they are highly sensitive to environmental input, shaping their brains profoundly. So it's just like when it comes to, like, it's almost like a super senses as a child. See, and now I'm trying to use language and reasoning that's beyond my brain's expertise because I haven't studied this stuff. But basically, based on two assumptions that I just had, I Google searched them, and Google basically said, yes, Damien, you are absolutely correct. It's almost as if you have PhD level knowledge without actually having knowledge of it. Okay, stop me being a dumbass. But yeah, so it is a theoretical possibility that how you behave around children, affects the neurology of their brain and how they develop as people. Well, who you are is basically neurology in the brain, like stored within your memory. Like, where would your memories be stored? Where are memories stored in the brain? Memory isn't stored in one single spot, but different types of memories involve various interconnected brain regions, with the hippocampus crucial for forming new memories, like events and facts, before they're consolidated, while the neocortex, amygdala, cerebellum, and prefrontal cortex manage long-term storage, emotional memories, procedural skills, and working memory, respectively, with details stored across networks. And now, with explaining rather loudly, I'm beginning to lose my my verbal stamina, as I call it, in my amateur terminology, and for some reason I got like stiffness. Well, anyway, so anyway, I'm going to stop there. But yeah, it's highly possible how you behave around your children affects your children, and if you have mental illness, right, it's possible that children could actually develop the same mental illness. And this is where I'm going to Google search something where I'm more likely to be proven to be wrong. Can children develop their parents' mental illness through perception? Okay, and this is where I thought I was going to be proven wrong here, but they just came up saying Damien's correct again. Yes, children can develop mental health issues similar to their parents, partly through perception, as they internalize parental behaviors, stress, and negative patterns, leading to increased rumination or adopting coping mechanisms that become problematic alongside genetic predispositions and environmental factors like stigma or poor parenting styles. Through perception alone isn't the sole cause. It significantly shapes their internal world and risk. And there's more information you can Google, so it's the same thing I said, and you can read the rest. So anyway, like I've been proven correct time and time again, not knowing what I'm talking about, and yet somehow knowing what I'm talking about without having degrees, still on the cuff. Like, well, I didn't. Okay, I made up this stuff a long time ago, but like me, like looking this stuff up, I was doing it in real time, just to prove I'm correct. Because I kind of knew the first two times. I almost knew the first two times. Can't say I knew exactly, but I knew that I was going to be correct. I knew my reasoning was good because my reasoning is actually pretty awesome. It helps to be an anarchistic savant. And I'm done. And remember, everything I'm saying is theory. Everything I'm saying is theory. Don't misconstrued anything that I'm saying as fact or an absolute truth. But I did find some truth in what I'm saying based on the Google search results, which I read accurately